of talent that's in this area, and we're very lucky. As a matter of fact, the band that's going to be coming on, the Headers, three very, very talented Buffalo musicians, and you're going to hear some of their music, you're going to hear them talk, you're going to know how good these guys are. They're Bobby, Scott, Dan, amazing. Do you agree?
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Bobby is by far my favorite guitar player in all of Western New York, and I've told Bobby this.
Yeah.
He's one of the few guys that I won't actually jam with.
or in front of, for that matter.
No, or in front of, yeah. There's nothing like sweating with
holding
Bobby.
a guitar when he's in the room, for
audio.
gosh sakes. And actually, he's really good company at a wedding. I don't know if you ever have a wedding and you need a date, take Bobby.
I won't. But I tell you where I have spent time with Bobby was at Ken Kaufman's birthday party. So
we'll talk
he
to
does
him.
make a good date.
We'll talk to him about that later. The level of talent is all across the board, including, we're very lucky to have, we have marvelous staging companies in the area here. We've got Indigo, UNISTAGE, Raging Wolf. There's world-class guys that can do world-class things. If we were going to hire the Rolling Stones right now, we would probably call APG UNISTAGE right now, and they would do the staging for us. They would do the lighting. They would do the sound. Do you agree?
I agree. Yeah.
This is an interesting story, and once again, this is not a political statement. This is not. I swear to God, it's not a political statement.
I know. I agree.
And to be honest with you, I don't even want to get into the politics end of it. I just think it's kind of a raw deal for some very good friends of ours. What happened is, the President of the United States, have you ever heard of him?
His name is Mr. Obama.
Mr. Obama was here, that's kind of really cool. And UNISTAGE, APG UNISTAGE, was offered a chance to bid on the staging and the sound. There were two separate bids. It turned out that they were able to get the staging. They were called inadvertently by the White House advance team and told that they received the sound bid too. The only difference is the sound bid was $1,400 higher than what they originally bid. And when they finally got to the bottom of it, they realized, oh geez, you didn't win the bid at all. What really happened is another company from Ohio
Counterbid.
higher, $1,400 higher.
Oh my God.
And this is our money. This is our money that's getting spent.
Sure.
For the president to do his tour, to talk about jobs and creating jobs in small businesses. And APG Unistage is a company, I own the Music Exchange. For me to leave and go do what I do somewhere else, I would have to, start a store and get relationships going in. It's not very easy. These guys could load their stuff on a freight train.
Sure.
Get it over to Phoenix or Las Vegas where they're doing conventions every minute.
Sure.
And be up and running, making more. They want to stay in Buffalo. These guys want to stay in Buffalo. Yet, this comes to town, they're given the staging bid, they offer them a cheaper price on the sound bid, and they don't get it. I don't like it.
I don't like it either. And again, it is what it is. Because, again, the two of us being, somewhere within the same age group.
I'm a lot younger.
But, Unistage and Indigo and these companies have been, kind of household names for musicians. And I think musicians out there will agree. So when something like this is coming to town, I mean, even you factor in the Thursday in the Square. Everybody knows who's running the sound down there and these things.
Here's another interesting thing, and I don't mean to interrupt you on this one,
Sure.
but you might even say, well, maybe they don't have any experience. Maybe these guys don't have experience. Maybe they're rock and roll guys, right? They don't have experience in the political arena. How do they know what to do?
I know where you're going at this point, and I like it. And I'm not going to stop you, but I didn't stop you. Go ahead.
Here's some of the folks they worked for. Here's some of the folks that have used their services. Maybe you've heard of them. President Carter, President Reagan, President Bush Sr., President Clinton, George W. Bush, and Andrew Cuomo is currently using them for staging and sound. So they have the experience.
Oh, yeah.
If the idea is that you want to come create jobs, put our money where your mouth is and spend it in Western New York with the company that can do it right, please.
And again, the original message of the show is to, talk about what wonderful companies and businesses and music we have in Buffalo. And what a kind of a joining of both of these things. A good company that supports musicians. Well, now this company can also do something in a political value.
And the thing about it, too, is like we're talking about, these are talented guys. I mean, they know what they're doing. I've never really run across a sound company in Buffalo that doesn't know what they're doing. However, I've seen sound companies, without naming cities, where I'm like, wow, what is going on here?
Sounds awful. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I've even seen touring ones. Recently, I just seen a big tour, and I'm not going to say the tour, and it was pretty bad.
We talked about this tour.
Yes, but we don't talk about bad things. So anyways, 803-1520, if you want to join the conversation, give us a call.
And by the way, if you're calling today, our good friends from Back to Back Productions, and they've actually given us 2 tickets to give away for tonight's show. for Leon Russell. So if you do want to call in now, we'll, what color are we going to do, babe?
Whatever you want to do.
I'm feeling caller number 7.
Caller.
I want to be lucky. I had bad luck. I can't help it. So caller number 7, if you call in at caller number 7, you get a pair of tickets for Leon Russell tonight at Club Infinity. That's right, we have 2 tickets for you.
And Back to Back has actually gotten a hold of us. They've offered 2 more pairs. So we're going to be,
Is that right?
throughout the show, yeah, we're going to be giving away
4 tickets.
3 pairs of tickets, 6.
So 6.
Math was never the restraint. You can count to 4.
And I'll tell you what, I stood up in math class and I told the math
You're a
teacher-
musician. You
I
count
told
to
him,
4, man.
I said, I'm not going to need this stuff for the rest of my life. And they said, why? I said, I'm going to count to 4 for the rest of my life. And he said, well, what do you mean? I went, 1, 2, 1, 2,
Exactly.
3, 4, and I walked out the door.
And you do it better than just about anybody. How was your week other than the drama that you had at your house?
Well, again, you know, the whole thing with trying to uplift the Buffalo music scene and what we're trying to do is uplift it. And if there's anything I can say right now, rather than talk about what my week is, and of course, everyone's got me nervous that because I announce all my shows on Facebook that's why my house got knocked over last night. But I think what we really need to do is just kind of create some awareness for original music, and I think we've got a great show ahead of us with the Headers being here and really creating some awareness behind this sound of original music that exists in Buffalo, because you know what we've got is a hotbed. And for years, musicians have been coming here and listening to Buffalo artists and taking that recipe, we'll call it, somewhere else. So I think that's really that's my anecdote for the week.
No,
I had a great week.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely. You and I played a couple times. The Mick Hayes band played Friday. You and I played
Right.
Wednesday at MICKS. That was great.
Mm-hmm.
We played Saturday at the Spring into Summer Festival. That was a festival that was just getting started at the Ag Center, and that's going to be a success. They're doing it next year. They already contacted me about next year.
Okay.
And then we were at Sonoma Grill.
Sonoma Grill.
How are things going with the Reinhardts?
I love the Reinhardts, and I know in a couple of weeks we're going to have them on. And we were talking about this earlier about famous rhythm sections and just famous pairs of brothers, including the Stoll brothers, that are just in the Western New York area. You know, the Corsies and the Fideli's, and and I'm very, very blessed to be working with the Reinhardts. And these guys play.
There's something
their
together. I mean, there's just
butts off.
Undescribable the connection that they have.
Yeah, they're awesome. It's like one brain. I joke around all the time. One will call me, and within 10 minutes, the other one calls me, and from 2 different places.
I got some wacky music news, shifting gears again. I got to talk about this too, because I think this is so funny. David Lee Roth, who was the frontman for Van Halen, then he wasn't the frontman for Van Halen. I was back to being the frontman for Van Halen.
Again.
And they're recording again. I was just talking to Eddie's liaison at Jackson Guitars, Chris Canella, who was in my store. And he said they're recording a new album now, which is really cool. It seems this woman, and this woman's got to be insane. She really has to be insane. Her name is Joanne Fonzone, and she's pursuing a divorce from David, who she said she met at New York University in 1979 and married him in 83. The funny thing is, you're a Van Halen fan.
Yes, and the chronology is where this really gets sticky, and I can't believe that this even got print. And actually, I think this is a testament to why, someone like, a Western New York musician didn't get good press on their last album release. But yeah, the chronology on
I can't
this,
believe it's in the courts.
1979. Okay, so for the Van Halen listeners out there, feel free to call in and tell us where David Lee Roth and Van Halen was in 1979.
I know where they were.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, there was a local Buffalo connection probably at that time, because the second album was out. The first album recorded in 77, released in February 78.
Yeah.
So they did a tour to support that. The second album, Talus actually opened a couple of the shows, didn't they?
Yeah, I believe it was the second album.
Yeah, so I mean, 79, I'm pretty sure he wasn't attending a university.
He was attending he was getting schooled. He was going to school on Joanne Fonzone.
I'm sure
Is
that
it
he was getting
Fonzone or
schooled, but
Fonzone?
nothing that has to do with education, I'm pretty
Well,
sure.
he's actually getting sued here. Is that right?
She's suing him for divorce, but
divorce.
how can you be divorcing someone you're not married to?
My dad always said, "Love is grand, divorce is 40 grand
Yeah, your dad's right.
or more."
Yeah, oh yeah. Your dad's right. So once again, folks, 803-1520. We've got tickets to give away to Leon Russell tonight. He's playing at Infinity. Local band Todd Eberwein is opening up. Show starts at 8:30. It's not a real super late show, and it's actually sponsored by the Lake, an Entercom
Another Entercom
station.
company.
So if you want to give us a call, we're giving tickets away for that. We've got Lisa Mikowski Friends going to be joining us next. Gary Hoey's going to be calling in. So it's going to be a cool show. Stick around. We're going to go to commercial now. See you soon.